doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to be here, number one, but can you give us a little story or background behind what Cannabis at Work is all about?
Yeah, you bet. So we are the only staffing agency in Canada that focuses exclusively on the cannabis sector. So essentially, anyone in this room here at the Lift Expo could be our client. So we recruit on their behalf, find great people to work in cannabis jobs in Canada.
So how does that recruitment process work for you guys?
So we'll have a client, like a licensed producer, for example, approach us and need assistance with recruitment. So then we go out to the market and try to find people that in some cases have cannabis experience and in some cases don't, vet them and really bring a really great shortlist back to our client to say, here's the best candidates we found, and then they can choose one of them from there.
Awesome. And so you guys do some other things as well. Can you tell me a bit about that as well?
Yeah, so outside of recruitment, we also help educate employers in general about cannabis legalization and what that means if they have an employee that's a patient and has a medical cannabis prescription, how they might need to update their drug and alcohol policy as part of legalization unrolling. So we have kind of a whole line of services for employers in general about cannabis legalization, as well as our search services for the industry specifically.
Very, very cool. So I'm trying to think here. So as the impairment at work, I guess with, like right now, as medical marijuana has been around, employers are having a bit more of a hard time with the employees who are using medical marijuana. How is that going to change in the next little bit?
Yeah, so employers have been dealing with the medical marijuana for some time, you're right. And medical marijuana is challenging for employers because they have a duty to accommodate somebody's disability or their medical issue and the treatment that follows. But they also have a responsibility to maintain a safe workplace. So usually this conversation really revolves around safety-sensitive positions. And the employer has to understand, can this employee with a prescription still do a safety-sensitive job? And because we lack a firm definition around what impairment by cannabis means, it can make it challenging for the employer to assess that. And then obviously cannabis still has a stigma, so that plays a role in all of that. That's not really going to change. I think what's going to change is the recreational legalization, and employers just starting to wrap their heads around having to know that employees can choose to use cannabis in their own time, and then that's going to be okay. But again, what that means for policies, where they can restrict that, where they can't, and really looking at some of those challenges.
Awesome. Well, we'd like to thank you again. It's Alison McMahon from Cannabis at Work.